What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mo. I want to say welcome back to Mo Better Kicks again. Um, we're gonna finish up the interview with Travis Scott and See the God. We were about halfway through and took damn near 50 minutes to do the first part of the reaction. So we broke it up into two parts, and we're gonna finish the rest of it now. So where we left off, uh, Travis talking about the stamps and the I guess maybe Bluetooth bracelets. I didn't get too deep into it. I cut it off before he really explained, but he was talking about the bracelets that people use at other festivals and some options that he might have for his future shows. But yeah, man, that's where we left off. That's where we're gonna hop in. So I hope you're ready. I appreciate you for checking this out. And before we even begin, please drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know what you think about this situation in the comments. But without further ado, let's begin.
Right. So I could feel that way, but I think more so about it's more about how I feel about the response that I care about more so, which is, actually, trying to step in and, really step up to really fixing what's happening and really step up for the safety of concert goers or people in just live.
I've seen a couple other reactions to this interview, and for the life of me, I can't understand where people are getting the narrative or their feelings, saying that he seems very disingenuous. This is scripted. I mean, to me personally, and this is just my opinion, my feelings on it, seems like he's putting his heart out there. This is really his real feelings. Nobody had to tell him to say anything. This is coming off of his heart and his head, in my opinion. I could be wrong because again, I don't know the man, but that's just as an observer. This is what it seems like to me. But let's let him finish.
Live spaces, period.
I wonder, is there a way to even prepare for this? Because nobody, like you said, when you're doing the planning for a show like this, nobody is planning for this to happen. So how do you even prepare for something like this to happen?
I don't know. And I feel like I feel like when it comes out a little bit more how this could have happened, I feel like that's how we can kind of attack that. But even I was thinking in ways like tech solutions, people come into these festivals with these bands that only scan you in, right? You have all type of tech now that can track your heart, can track your, oxygen levels, can track if you're gonna be sick. You can put things now if you're gonna be, get lost. It's all type of ways now. I feel like that can be the band that only gets you access to entry or to a food line or to food trucks can now be solvable to helping save lives. Can now be more of a response to people that are now on site and on ground. I feel like that could be a way, or even just figuring out what the exact solution, what the exact problem of it was, and dialing more into that. I think you can kind of. I feel like there is a way. I just think it needs to be time spent on figuring that out.
And I like that. I like he's basically saying let's not rush to say this is what needs to be done, this is how we're going to do it, etc., and so on. Let's gather information over time and see what really went wrong and how to fix it. Man's thinking. Um, I I don't want to sound biased by any stretch of the imagination, but again, he seems like he's really holding himself accountable. Yes, he really seems like he's holding himself accountable and putting himself on the chopping block, I guess.
Have you been able to have any personal conversations with any of the families who lost loved ones?
I was able to, but I just want to just respect the, the privacy of the conversation, and
Mhm.
I'm thankful for them for even allowing me to have the conversation. So yeah,
How did you feel when some of the families rejected your offer to pay for the funerals?
all things are understandable, and at a time they're grieving and they're trying to find understanding, and they want answers, and it's not about that. I'm always going to be here, to want to help them. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to I got to continue to just show up for that. I just wanted to make sure that they knew that I was there for them. You know what I mean? And continue to be there for them. I think that's just more so what it's about for that. Yeah.
Some people say your music played a role in this. Like I've seen them, cite lyrics, that encourage this kind of behavior. I've seen them say your music is demonic and this was a satanic ritual. You you think your music is to blame?
I mean, no. One, I'm a man of God, so that's the first thing first, and so it's just
And now, okay, this bothers me so much more. I've seen a lot of people, along with the narrative that this was all demonic and rituals and sacrifices, all that stuff. Um, which, if those are your beliefs, that's fine. I'm not here to say what you can and can't believe, but people were bashing him and attacking him because he said he was a man of God, and I don't understand. Like, why is I mean, he makes secular music. Okay, he can't believe in God and have faith in God. I don't understand. But these holier than thou people on YouTube going ham talking about he made this statement, and I just I don't understand. Um, it, it it really made me. I was hot, to be honest with you. Again, believe what you want. That's fine, but who is to say whether this man has faith and believes in God or not? Whether if he wants to call himself a man of God, who's to say he's not? You know what I mean? Like, Kirk Franklin's a man of God, but he got a mouth on him. You know what I mean? Like, it rubbed me in the wrong way, if that makes sense. It just didn't seem right. You're gonna put all the blame on him, fine, but now you're gonna persecute him for saying he has beliefs and faith because that's a bad thing. That's not. I don't know. It had me hot though, to be real with you. But I just wanted to say that a lot of people, they're I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how to put it into words how I feel about it. But it had me messed up that people would attack him just for saying he was a man of God because he's not godly enough for everybody else. Like, who is? You know what I mean? But I that had me rubbed me the wrong way hearing other people go ham on him about it, and then he just said it the first time I've heard it. So I'm like, I gotta respond. But let's get back.
just yeah, that's that. And your music is just like self-expression. You know what I'm saying? And at these shows, I feel like people kind of like look at things, and if you've been to a Travis show, it's been different layers of shows.
Mhm.
I think people are just misconceptions and taking things they're seeing, and all type of things. And I've took pride in trying to grow from.
And to be real with you, never been to a Travis show, but I do believe he's being lumped in with guys like XX and what's the boy's name from Philly? Uzi? Is that Uzi? Little Uzi Vert? And I'm not gonna say he's satanic or anything, but he's made those kind of comments, whether he really believes it or not, or just thinks it's cool. He's made those comments publicly, and I think because Travis came out around the same time, he's being lumped in with those kind of guys and those kind of beliefs, which I think is messed up. But again, I don't know him personally, so I'm not gonna respond to his character so much as if I do know him. But from what I'm seeing and what he's portraying, he says he's a man of God. Who am I to say otherwise? You know what I mean? But I do believe he's being lumped in with those other guys unfairly and unjustly.
From where I was when I first recorded music to now when I'm going in music. So yeah, I just think people gotta, and that's one thing with me is just people gotta kind of um experience it sometimes. And I think that's what it was. People were kind of like, even before, people were hearing about it, they come and experience it and taking away their own thing. And it's always going to be an outside opinion. But, for the ones that, really believe in me and, understand what I'm about and what I'm doing, no, that's not what I'm preaching. I always preach like love, always preach understanding, always preach, take care of your loved ones, love each other. You know what I'm saying? Get out your ideas. Never let yourselves be stopped. Love one another and step into that.
I mean, I think that's a part of it, but the music does encourage people to be violent at these shows.
I mean,
that's what the rage is about.
I mean, most of the music is me sometimes talking about what I see at the shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I'm talking about the shows, and so that's just, the energy, you know what I'm saying? But the energy isn't to come and start, being ultra violent and just being violent and hurting each other. That's not what it's about.
So it's more so supposed to be entertainment.
Yeah, it's everything is, and it's about what you experience at the shows and what you see,
Will this change the content of your music moving forward, you think?
What happened here wasn't off Travis Scott music.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't, oh, now you need to like switch up. No, I mean, I've made all different type of music in the first place, I've never was just like one lane or one genre of anything in the first place. So I just think it's all about experiences, and I feel like, it could be music to come out of it. Lyricism, just emotion. Music is emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And music is healing. And you can just find healing and find emotion, and in that, and just more progressive. Everything I'm trying to do is just more progressive.
You said you're a man of God, and when I even said that, they say your music is satanic, I saw the face that you made. Where do you think that even comes from? Travis Scott is satanic. Travis Scott is.
I just think it's just things people collect. People look at the internet.
Now, all right. To address whether it'll change his music, I liked his answer. I hope it doesn't. You know what I mean? Tragedy helps people grow. In my opinion, I've been through a lot of tragedy in my life. It's helped me grow into a better man. I'm not perfect yet, but it's helped me to grow into a better man, a better father. All the layers of life that a man goes through, I've grown more so than I was 10 years ago. I do think I liked his answer a lot. And I just lost what I was thinking. But he basically listed the ways that he plans to grow, lyricism, etc. I'm gonna have to rewind, but I am really his demeanor, his nothing about this, and I did see one of those other videos I watched a little clip of earlier. People were talking because Charlemagne's reading his questions off of a piece of paper, how Travis is so media trained and all that, and these answers do not seem media trained to me at all. They seem so uh, personal and from the heart. I don't doubt that Travis isn't somewhat media trained. What artist isn't? But he definitely seems um, like he's just coming straight from here. You know. But I do want to rewind. There was a little bit that I have memory issues, so I didn't retain it all that fast, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna go back a couple seconds and check on them again.
I think I'm trying to do is just more progressive.
You said you're a man of God, and when I even said that, they say your music is satanic, I saw the face that you made. Where do you think that even comes from? Travis Scott is satanic.
That's what it was. That's what it was. And back to my point, I believe unfairly and unjustly, Travis is being lumped in with guys like XXX and uh, Uzi. Why do I keep forgetting boy's name? Lil Uzi Vert. You know what I mean? 6ix9ine. These kind of clown dudes who aren't really. If you like the music, good for you. But he's not making that kind of music. You know, um, XXX's was a lot of uh, therapy, I think, but like Uzi's and 6ix9ine, no, that's not the vibe they were on. But it seems he's on that's kind of music Travis makes, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but that's the way I take his music when I listen to it. Um, but I did definitely did like this question. I wanted to double back to it, so let him finish it.
Satanic, Travis Scott is
I just
demonic.
think it's just things people collect. People look at
Mhm.
the internet and they just collect and they look at things and they look at visuals and you have all these theorists and people just thinking they're looking at visuals and don't understand, just the idea of like what art may be or what you're trying to do. They're just making up your own message, especially when you're not out there like yelling the message all the time. It's just yeah.
And when they say this is a community event, Astroworld.
Yeah,
So they say a community event is a satanic ritual. How does that
that's
make you
like
feel?
it's crazy because it's like I do this for people to have a good time. We have rides, we have games. It's things for people to get off creative experiences. It's not the show is at the end of the day. It's like and that show is just something based on what's just things. It's not like what like why would we wake up one day and just trying to that's just evil is not what we're a part of. We're not trying to be a part of that. We're trying to be a part of joy. We're trying to be a part of light. We're trying to be a part of full-blown happiness, love, understanding, people taking care of each other, community, people to leave from these experiences and want to go out and do good. That's literally what we want. We want to show them these things. We put everything into this festival, this is our third year, so we try to put, we every year we put everything into the festival so people can enjoy it. It's not about just come perform. Not that, it's things for them to do all day. And different artists for them to experience too.
Has the trauma of this tragedy impacted your desire to perform in the future?
That's a
I've
good
always
question.
seen performances of art of healing for me. That's why I've always been so into it. I don't know if you looked at like some of the growth from where I've tried to take performance. I've always tried to, I feel like it's the art of healing. I feel like it's a moment where people have a mutual understanding. And I feel like the first things first, before anything, is that we address, a lot of safety concerns. I think the first things first is that, because not even just for me, you don't want other, artists to have to go and take a part of that trauma, take a part of that experience, take a part of that, that fear. You don't want concert goers to still be a part of that fear. You want them to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just the first things first. And I think once we take major steps into moving in that direction, I feel like, it could be cool for people to practice that healing again, and understand that. I don't think people should run away from it and shy away from it. I think, it's a form of healing,
No matter what you do at any of your shows in the future, regardless of how much security how much safety you put in place. You cannot control human behavior.
Yeah.
You can't.
And that's the biggest thing for me. He as the performer, as the curator of this event, he can't control the way the fans act. I mean, you can have bouncers there, security there. That's throwing people out that are getting too unruly. But you would really have to have all of Houston PD to really 50,000 people. You're not going to be able to weed all these people out before somebody gets injured, unfortunately. So that's why I feel the way I feel about this situation. You cannot put all the blame on one person. And yes, he's taking the brunt of that, but Live Nation, Universal, all the promoters, whoever should be on the front lines with him, taking the blame for this event. And he should not be alone in this not fight, because it's not a fight, but he shouldn't be the scapegoat for these companies and promoters. And that's what I feel like he's being used as. I mean, maybe they feel like he's a big enough artist, he'll bounce back and he'll be fine. But this is a big blemish on his career. You know, I don't think he'll lose fans. Well, many fans over it. People will be understanding, I believe. But still, leaving him hanging like this, all alone to take the blame for all of this, it's messed up to me, man. It is.
Control 40, 50,000 people doing whatever it is that they do. Does that scare you?
I mean, yeah, but you also put trust in the fans too to just have a good time. You just reinstill that, and you continue to practice. When you're on stage, to just remind them. And even when they're there, to just constantly have messages to remind them, like, "Yo, look, you're here to have a good time. We're not here if you see somebody, help another." I think it's just continue to reinstill that message. I think help that mindset.
Yeah, so Astroworld was one of several ways you gave back to Houston. Do you think you've lost that privilege to do that?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about that, because I've just been thinking about just community healing, and the families healing, and all those things kind of building back up.
That could take forever though. That I don't know if you ever truly heal.
Yeah.
From these type of situations.
Yeah. And but through these things, like I say, music is part of healing. And at the end of the day, I just don't a Travis Scott show, or an Astroworld show, wasn't the bottom line factor of what happened here. And I think we just got to figure out what happened. But having a Travis Scott show, we've done shows all over. That wasn't the what happened here. Something that happened here. And that's why we want to fix it, because it can happen anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I think once we get further along in that, I think it'd be a little bit more receptive, I feel.
Just you as an individual, when you perform again, what precautions will you take moving forward? Just you, just based off what you can personally control. What precautions would you take moving forward?
I'll do the same thing I'm, been doing, just double, making sure everybody is on post, and I'll do the, double down on just making sure that everyone is locked in. Everyone is aware, everyone is on response, everybody is on, on it. You know what I'm saying? And look out, try to, if you felt like it wasn't there more, push for it to be more. Push the call and response more with the fans.
Like, what do you mean? Like, are y'all okay?
Or, try to have some sort of call and response with the fans while still being smooth in the performance. Because at the end of the day, it's still performance art. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the whole idea about this is you want to make sure that it's all these factors are done before we even go into these things, you know? Because you want to just, when you go in, you want to have the mindset that, okay, people are going to be okay. We can have a good show. If anything's going down, people are going to be right there to be the first one to get to them, you know? And if there's going to be any communication, you know, communication, but, you know, I think, yeah.
When you did stop the show, how did you see that one person?
I mean, he was right there, you know? You had like, you had people like just spread it out, you know? And so I'm looking, I'm like, oh. So I just called down and, you know, the medics just came in, responded, got him out, you know?
That's the only one you saw that?
Yeah,
night.
that's the only one I saw. And then, you know, when I seen the lights in the back, you know, I just double checked, make sure everyone was okay. You know, I got a response that everyone was okay. Yeah.
How normal is that to see ambulances and everything else at these festivals?
Well, it was lights. So, you know, and ambulance don't really have like red and blue lights, you know.
Oh, so you thought it was
I don't, you don't know, you just looking at his lights. That's why I asked. I'm just like, yo, is it an ambulance? It's like, what's going on? You don't know if it's like somebody got some lights up there doing, you know, doing some turn, you don't know, you know, but, you know, I didn't get a response. So, you know, you got a response from the fans, you know, I asked everyone to put their hand up. And then, you know, didn't get a response from anything else. So just carried on.
Does it make you feel judged when you see videos, you know, circulating of other artists stopping their shows, like to check on fans since Astroworld? Because it's almost like the insinuation from other artists is that, like, you didn't do enough, so we don't want to be like Travis.
I take it as, you know, they're just taking extra precautions, you know, because it might not have been something that, you know, was running through their mind at time before. And they're just taking extra precautions to, you know, make sure they don't run through the same problems. And I can commend them for that. You know, I've always done the same thing, you know, in my prior shows and at that show. So, you know, I feel them, you know. I just think it's been a little bit more, people are more capturing it now, like, because of what's going on. I think that's just how the media works.
Do you feel like your team right now is allowing you to do everything that you possibly could do?
And as far as what?
Just as far as like anything regarding to the situation, you know, speaking out,
well,
reaching out to families, whatever.
Well, yeah, you know, it's a lot of legal into it, but at the end of the day, I'm human, so I want to do so much to try to like help and heal, and you know, you want to give time for people to heal, you want to give time, but you know, I want to be able to like go and start taking these steps to, you know, addressing these, you know, these problems and, you know, getting to the solutions, you know, addressing the solutions and addressing ways to fix these things from happening in the future. Like, and I think that's the main thing. And I've always took pride in trying to lead things and go and attack things and, you know, be the first to jump out and go do it, you know? So I'm more than, you know, happy enough to go.
But then there's the person Travis Scott, but then there's the business of Travis Scott. So I'm sure there's a lot of people around you trying to protect the business.
Yeah.
So for you personally, like, you know, how much do you want to protect the business as well?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, like, people have to understand these businesses aren't built because, you know, you Charlamagne, I'm Travis. So it's like, I've always cared about, you know, the fans. I don't give a, you know, it's about them. You know, so it's like, obviously it's like business and this, but I've always been the one that's like pushed back on vocally, like, yo, you know, we gotta, you know, this is about, you know, the fans, and, you know, the team has always felt the same way. And so, and anytime I've ever done anything corporately, that's just how I've always been. It's just like, yo, we want to go do things to make sure that the people that are experiencing this product is having the best experience. It's not about, you know, what we could do, like the numbers, like, you know, that's not what we chase here. We chase for people to have the best experience. You know, we want people to enjoy themselves. We want people to walk away with like just ideas, like, wow, this is like, you know,
They say that there's no permanent friends or enemies in business. So, you know, if anybody decides to back away from Travis Scott on a corporate level, do you care?
No. But I've never jumped into things with people that didn't know me.
Mhm.
So everyone I surrounded myself with, you know, it's always been, you know, a backbone and, you know, supportive to anything I want to do to help fix anything that could be a good cause, you know. So, you know, I'm thankful for that, you know.
If the families of the victims never forgive you, will you ever be able to forgive yourself? Can you live with that?
Nah, it's tough. You know, it's real tough. Because I want them to really know that my intentions, you know, wasn't to harm their family at all. It's for them to come to have a good experience. You know, and yeah, like, you know, I've always feel like I have a connection with my fans, you know, through the music. I feel like when they come to see me, it's not just like, oh, they coming to, it's like a connection.
Mhm.
And you know, sometimes not knowing, you know, people not understanding like artists and where we come from, that it could be a disconnect. And you know, I would love to, you know, instead of understanding, and you know, for them to truly know where my heart's from. You know, it didn't come for for me to harm, and wasn't about a show to keep, you know, at all. You know, it's about for them to have, you know, a very good time, and it's just tragic that it didn't turn out that way. You know,
Do you feel like you're being villainized?
I mean, I feel like it comes with being in a seat, you know, and I feel like they pointing the finger at me because it's my festival, or they want to, you know, I am who I am, you know, and it maybe not a lot of like understanding about like what's going on, but you know, like I said before, I feel like I can kind of like take that, in a sense, because my whole career I feel like people have been trying to do that, and I feel like I've shown through actions that that's not my character.
Mhm.
That's not, you know, that's not who I am. I'm shining through positive, you know. And I feel like, you know, with understanding and with everything, I feel like people understand that what my heart wasn't there to be the villain, you know. I was there to be like a hometown hero.
You know, the day before Astro World, there's footage of you discussing the importance of giving back to your community and how much it means to you to be able to do that. Do you think people have forgotten, you know, your heart in all this and what Astro World was truly about?
You know, I think people, you know, are grieving, and it can get, you know, misplaced with, you know, who cares about that, what's going on right now. Um, but, you know, like I said, I just want to continue to, you know, stay on those stepping blocks and continue to doing the charity I've been doing, and continue to doing the community work I've been doing for Houston. You know, I was doing those things before, not looking for people to pat me on the back for them. You know, I was just doing them just simply just to make a change.
Mhm.
And so you wouldn't be surprised if people don't, you know, pay attention to some of those things throughout whenever you are doing them. But that's not what you're doing for, really. So I feel like at the end of the day, you continue to do those things, regardless. You know,
Do you think you'll ever be able to recover from this emotionally?
you know, my grandmother, my dad, my mom, they've always told me to, you know, put your faith in God and hide behind His wing. And at the end of the day, I think you gotta. Always told myself, you know, things are gonna get. It's hard, you know. Things can be feeling amazing sometimes, and things can get real hard, you know. And I think how you respond to things and where you channel your emotions is very important, you know, especially at a time like this. And I gave my, you know, it was hard for me to really, because it is the first time anything like this. I've even seen anything like this, heard of it, and it be happening, you know, to this whole community, you
Mhm.
know. It just, you know, you kind of just you want to be able to channel that emotion to just respond, and you got to be strong, man. Um, Stepping in and doing the things for the community doesn't come with being, too weak. You got to be able to, step through these things and show people that you really care. This wasn't just to get to the point to do this, but it was really to create active change.
Mhm.
And I think, these are, it's these moments right now where you gotta really show, where your heart is in this thing. And I think, that's what I've always, wanted to do, and I want to just continue to do that.
I'm glad you mentioned your family because that was one of my last questions. Like, how important is family been in this situation?
It's been important, you know, all my family was there too, so it's been important. But to be able to have them and bounce back, ideas, and, you know, them grieve with, for those families as well. Pray for those families as well. Continue to, them also being a helping hand as well, which gives me more hands to help. I feel like, which is more important. Um, and them always having my back to support the idea, want to create this change. I think, at least gives me more confidence that, I'm not in this alone. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? To help fix this, for the families, for the community.
As a superstar, it's weird, right? Because these same outlets that report on this tragedy, when something like the W cover leaks, then now they want to get back to your relationship and whether you and, you know, Kylie are together or not. Is that not strange to you?
I mean, yeah. So I don't really like do only do magazines I like.
Mhm.
But a magazine gonna try to like figure out what the fuck they want to figure out. I just I've never did anything for a relationship for anybody to try to figure out, put a label on what they want to put it on.
Mhm.
We know what our relationship is, and so I just stand strong on it.
So I guess my final question, man, who does Travis Scott ultimately, I guess, think is responsible for this tragedy?
I it's crazy because something tragic happened here, and what's what I've just been trying to, get to the bottom of is just what happened here, how it happened here. And I think the families are owed, that. I feel like, the community is owed that. I feel like we're owed that to just know what happened here. And I don't want to just speak too soon. I just want to figure out, what happened.
Mhm.
Um, but we, like I said, as artists, we just leave this up, to to professionals to make sure that that fans are having a good time. People are protected and can leave and have the best experience ever.
You know they're going to pick this interview apart. So is there anything you want to say, you know, to your fans, to the family of people who lost loved ones, before we get out of here?
I mean, I want everyone to just continue praying for the fans. I want people to continue praying for the fans that was lost.
Mhm.
I want people to continue praying for the families. Um, I want people to continue just reaching out for healing. Um, I want people to continue to just be there for each other. Um, and remember that, that love is just, everything. And with that, we can try to cure everything, and take steps into, healing. And I think the more we try to, continue to let people grieve and continue to be there for people, and, check in on people, and, check in on your loved ones, and just, I think that's just like one of the most important things. And, staying strong through this while we, figure out what's going on, and bring understanding to these families, and to the community.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna send healing energy to everybody involved, the
Yes, sir,
families,
man.
you know, those who were lost, yourself, because nobody wants tragedies like this to happen.
Yeah, not at all.
So
Not at
preventing
all.
them moving forward is the only thing we can do.
Yeah.
Appreciate you,
Thank
brother.
you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man.
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right, well, that's it. Almost a full hour video. We reacted to in about almost 2 hours. There was so much to break down and dissect throughout that interview, and this video I didn't want to stop as much. I actually wanted to let their thoughts flow without interruption. But again, I don't want to sound like a Travis Scott promoter or anything, but I do enjoy some of his music, and never been to a concert. I thought the Fortnite thing was cool. I like some of his shoes. I don't want that to be sound like the driving factor in me saying the things that I've said, because I'd feel the same way whether it was any artist. Kenny Chesney, not too long ago, was up here in Pittsburgh. I guess every time he's been in Pittsburgh for the past couple of years that I can remember, and those fans just trashed the city. Can't blame Kenny Chesney for this. I mean, nobody died. I don't want to compare the two performances and situations, but you can't blame the artist for the fans and the way they react. You know what I mean? Like, they go ham, trash the city. These people go crazy and injure and murder each other. Essentially, like, it happens for many different artists from many different genres. We can't put it on one different thing. But I don't disagree. I don't think Travis shouldn't be held liable or responsible. I just don't think it should only be Travis. Let me make that clear. I do appreciate that he's stepping up and taking blame, raising his hand and saying, "All right, come here, I got it. It's all me." But I think that's very disingenuous and unfair for Live Nation. Is it Columbia? And whoever was involved with the promoting and making of this show event. I think it's wrong to let him stand there on the front lines alone to take all them shots. So yeah, that's how I feel about it, man. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I just wish. I believe in being fair, and I don't think this situation is fair to him. And I didn't know that some of the families turned down his offer to help funeral costs and whatnot. And not that makes a difference either here or there, but I didn't know that some of the families were doing that. But I mean, some people are going to be mad. They lost loved ones. You can't blame them for it. But yeah, man, that's all I got for today. Please hit me in the comments. I want to know what people were thinking about this situation, what you thought about this interview. Should it have been someone other than Charlamagne the God? Did Travis seem media trained to you? Did anybody else have an issue with him saying he was a man of God? I want to understand why that's a problem for people. I mean, you can be worldly but still believe in God, in my opinion. I don't understand why he's being badmouth because he wanted to be categorized as a man of God. But that's neither here nor there. But if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, comment for sure. We need comments. I want to know what my viewers are thinking. Getting lots of views, but I need you guys to hit me in the comments so we can have dialogue. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you stay up to date for when we're dropping new content. And until next time, Peace. Peace, love, and positivity. I need to have my stuff scripted too, so I know exactly what I'm supposed to be saying. Please join me in my mission to spread peace, love, and positivity around the world. If we can do it with sneakers, we're gonna try, but that won't be our only venture. So just hold on. Much more is coming, and yeah, man. Now we'll cut it out. So stay blessed, man, and we'll catch you next time.